Hey, what's up? John Shred here, and today I am comparing the 4090 Founders Edition to the 4090 Suprim X. We'll do a little head-to-head, find out size, pricing, performance, and you can find out which one you'd buy. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, thank you. And yeah, I like to review different new technologies, video cards, and kind of talk about the pricing and costs. So now, let's talk size comparison first. Okay, let me line these up so we can get a good view. The Suprim is definitely bigger. We can get a great shot there. You have about 1.5 inches longer, and let's see on thickness here, about 1/2 inch thicker. Now that being said, both cards fit perfectly fine inside my Lianli O11D Mini, which is a pretty small case, something between an ITX and a mid-size case. No issues there at all, so thumbs up. And both cards use a 12-pin power connector, and they come with dongles such as this to go to 4 8-pin power connectors. So please, if you have a power supply that only has 3 8-pin power connectors, you may need to upgrade. I was using an 850 watt SFX Lianli power supply in my system, and it only had 3. It did not work. I had to upgrade and get a bigger power supply. So other than that, these two cards, I mean, this is a plain Jane. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. Yes, the Geforce here, the logo lights up. Now on the side of MSI, this is the Suprim, which is their highest end card. This whole area here does light up. We'll get some footage, and you do have the ability to configure it in your MSI Mystic Light software. So if RGB is a thing that you enjoy and you like MSI's way of doing it, maybe that's a good choice for you. One thing that is different with the MSI card is it does have a BIOS switch. Where did it go? There it is, right there. Silent and gaming. Let's talk cost. The Founders Edition is $15.99 US, whereas the Suprim X is $16.99 US. $100 US difference, taxes. Okay, so is the Suprim worth the extra $100 US? So let's get into the benchmarks. I did a head-to-head here, so you really compare some kind of different benchmarks to see. Take a peek. No light in your sky, your world has been dark. So surprisingly, there's hardly any difference. 1 to 3% increase with the Suprim. And then when you try and overclock the two cards, it similarly only adds another 1 to 3%. So it's not a big deal. I was very surprised that the power limit is 520 watts on the MSI, whereas you can up the power limit on the Founders Edition to 600 watts. Now, does that make a difference in the OC? No, not really. The Founders Edition card was able to upgrade the VRAM up to 1300 plus 1300 megahertz, whereas the Suprim, you can only do plus 1000. So if you have very intense VRAM specific applications, that could help, and I would say go with the Founders Edition because the RAM did work better. All right, what about the thermals? Isn't it common knowledge that the AIBs usually, have better thermals? Well, you look at this MSI, it has 3 huge fans on it, and it's an extra 1.5 inches longer and wider. So should it be cooler? Maybe. Was it? Nope, identical as far as thermals. NVIDIA did an extremely good job with these huge fans here on the front and back. Thermals didn't go over 70 degrees Celsius on the GPU and 80 degrees Celsius on the VRAM. So, I mean, that's nothing. For any miners out there, you know, the VRAM goes up to 100 Celsius before it even starts to, you know, throttle itself, even 110 before it throttles. Sitting at 100, you can do that all day long. So the fact that it was sitting at 80, totally fine. So thermals, thumbs up to both. All right, so we talked about the size, we talked about the cost, the lighting, thermals, overclocking capability. My conclusion, hands down, if you had the choice, go with the Founders Edition. I mean, unless RGB is a big thing for you, sure, maybe you're an MSI fanboy. Personally, I don't like the way the lights look on the Suprim card. I'm more of an EVGA for the Win 3, which they don't make the 40,000 series, or an Asus ROG myself. So if I had to choose between these two cards with the price difference, hands down, Founders Edition. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, which you prefer, if you have a brand that works best. And yeah, I mean, maybe, hopefully soon I can get myself on an ROG 4090 and really see the size comparison again and the thermals to see if it makes a difference. So if you like this kind of video, please subscribe, stay tuned, and see you next time.
Yeah, I'm lighting up just like a cigarette.